Hey, first off, Christmas week. Happy holidays to everybody. I know we're going to be taking it right on through the weekend or through the holiday and all that. Appreciate you hanging with us and all. It's a great time for us to find out what we're grateful for and to appreciate, and we're definitely in that mode here. We're going to hopefully make this a great week in a lot of ways. What do you got?
Curtis Crabtree, why don't you lead us off?
Sure, Pete. Just right off the top here, what's your understanding of what happened with Josh and how it affects you guys moving forward? What's next for him, and how disappointed are you that it's back here again?
Well, we're not able to comment about any of it really, other than to say that he's still in the coming in, working out with our trainers and getting his work done conditioning wise. We'll revisit it again next week. Certainly disappointed not to have him for his sake and for a lot of things, but we'll stay with it and we'll see what happens next week.
Jen Mueller.
Two questions. So is it your understanding that it's now kind of a week by week it gets evaluated, or do you have any other guidance from the NFL on that?
I don't know any of that. I really don't have any information. Sorry.
So when you look at this week's game, you talked last time about not having Carlos and Chris, but those weren't the only guys missing because of injury. How much different does the team look now compared to the first matchup against the Rams?
Well, we certainly balanced out what we're our attack and what we're trying to do, and we just kind of went into an offshoot direction, for a bit. We didn't mean to, but we did. But we feel very confident that we're back. Can we turn that guy off? Really, sorry. So we're hoping that we can continue. We're really pleased that we've been able to run the ball the last couple of weeks, and it's necessary for us to really feel our style of play, and so it's good to have it. It's a good feeling. Oh, he's got it.
Ready? Corbin.
Hey, Pete, on Monday we were discussing on the radio that there have been issues at times this year with passing off receivers and picking up routes coming into zones. Looking back at some of the issues early in the season, given of explosive plays, some of the busted coverages, how big of an issue do you think that was in terms of the vision and awareness, and do you think the lack of chemistry had played into that?
Let me just say that we just weren't hitting it right. We weren't on it like we needed to be, and there just was not enough of the substance that we needed to have everybody connected and communicating really well and confident in what was going on. And so we were just a step off of things, and remember that you guys got to look back and remember that all of those yards that were on the board, were so much of them were after the fact, fourth quarter catch-up mode, which we're not pleased about or happy with at all. But there was thousands, it seemed like, of yards that would happen in that mode, and that's the mode we played poorly in, and so we just had to clean things up and get sharper. But it naturally coalesced, with just the time together and also the time necessary. New players, they needed to learn our system, they needed to understand it, they needed to play together with guys, all of that, and honestly, I never felt like it wasn't going to happen and we weren't going to turn it around. It was just really impatient and frustrated by it. But since the turn of the second half here, we've been a different team on defense, and it feels like we're going in the right direction. And so whatever happened before is long gone for us now.
John Boyle.
Yeah, Pete, you said Monday this is as good defense as you'll face. What in particular, I know they changed coordinators, what are they doing this year that makes them
they have a different package of defense entirely, and it's a different style with some of the obvious features, are similar, and that, Aaron Donald's still playing on the guard, and he's rushing as much as he can, and they're trying to feature putting him in the right spots and moving him around. They do all of that in great fashion, but it's just a different formula of defense and a different concept, coverage-wise and front-wise, and they look really good. Everybody fits the format of what they need them to do. I really think Leonard Floyd has been a real great addition for them and his style of play. So they have a really good active group, run real well, and it starts up front, and they've got a great great place to build from.
Brady Henderson.
How is Josh doing with the latest news and everything? How is he handling it?
Very frustrated that he's not out here. Yeah, frustrated by it.
And then injury-wise, what's the plan this week for Carlos Dunlap and Brandon Shell?
Both those guys are going to. Carlos is practicing. He starts the week in full mode. We're going to monitor Brandon until later in the week, with the hopes that he can get back out on the field by Friday and show us some stuff and see if he can compete to play. We're really pleased with what Cedric did at right tackle, so we feel fortunate that he had a nice game going into this one. But we'll see what happens with Brandon.
Thanks.
Joe Fan.
Is there anything you can tell us about just kind of where Josh is at? Is it remorse? Is it surprise?
No.
Is it confusion?
I'm sorry, guys. I'm not supposed to even comment about it. We're not supposed to talk about it, and so I'm just got to leave it at that. I'm sorry.
But you guys will keep him on the roster.
Yes.
And then any update on Philip Dorsett and his foot?
I just saw Philip in the weight room before the walkthrough today, and he's moving around pretty well. So he's out of the boot and trying to make the transition now. So I don't know how long it takes from this point, but he's made strides forward, and that he's at least to that that portion of his workout now.
Greg Bell.
Hi, Pete. There's a national report that there was a setback of substance abuse for Josh Gordon. Can you at least delineate whether it's an administrative part of the reinstatement?
He can't comment. He can't comment.
Sorry, can't comment on the stuff. Sorry.
The fact that he's staying on the roster is it's status quo as Sunday and Saturday and Friday.
Yeah.
Back to that.
Yes.
Thank you.
I guess I did comment.
Anything else, Greg? It's a nice Christmas hat, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. How about the family? Appreciate it. No,
Good.
thank you, sir.
Jackie Montgomery.
Hey, Coach, a couple questions. First, the offensive line, they haven't allowed a sack in the last 2 weeks. What has been working so well for them recently?
Well, I think it's just the combination of guys feeling good about what's going on, rhythm of the game, passing game, play calling, execution. It's just we've just taken a step forward that was necessary here to finish off this season. We got to keep it going. We got to keep it going and keep Russ clean and let him have the freedom to do the things he can do. And really pleased that that he hasn't been hit knocked down in the last couple of weeks. That's something that's good for us. It's something that hasn't happened a lot, and we're going to see if we can keep it going.
And then secondly, this is off the field, kind of random, but Quandre Diggs, he recently has been donating holiday shopping sprees to families here in Seattle. The fact that he's only been here for a short period of time, can you just speak to his character off the field and why he feels to give back to a community that's kind of adopted him?
Yeah, Jackie, he's a great kid. He has a charisma and a kind of a magnetism about him that really attracts people to him. He's a natural leader, and it goes along with his attitude and personality and all that, but he's also such a tough guy, too. The guys respect the heck out of him. I know he's done a lot of stuff in the community and continues to work to do what he can to do his part. He is doing so in kind of reminiscent of guys that have been here in the past. They've really had an open heart to reach out and help where they can. Everybody loves him. Matter of fact, I should say too, I didn't mention about the Pro Bowl guys, but for the first-time Pro Bowl guys, and what a great deal. I know Quandre's really proud of that. And Tyler and DK and Tyler Ott, and the guys that get their first shot at it. Nick Ballore also, just. So it's a wonderful deal. But anyway, back to Quandre. He's been a great kid in the program, and he never hasn't been. Like I said, he was a captain for the Lions, and I can see why that was the case.
Art Teal.
Pete, when you were coaching in San Francisco in 95, 96, did you interact much with John McVay? And if so, what were some of your takeaways about him? Your time with him.
Yeah, John was there at the time and was still the kind of the guru, kind of the wizard back in the day. Had come off all of his years with the long-standing Niners tradition and stuff, and he had all of the background and the history and the kind of the lore to it. Matter of fact, yeah, I did spend time with John and hung out with him some just to get to know him, and he was a really, really big, significant part of all of that success they had then.
And is there anything in Sean McVay's offense that reflects the West Coast principles of the Walsh era?
Yeah, well, they reflect more the Mike Shanahan transition from that. Mike came out of the Niner system and did a bunch of stuff at Denver and then at Washington, and it's more connected to that in that transition that Mike had made. The running game for sure, the splits and the formations and the things that they do, the quarterback movement, pass game that they do. That was all really. It came out of West Coast, but really it was Mike Shanahan's kind of origin. I thought, he changed the thing. The zone running was not part of the 49er offense in the West Coast stuff. Everybody loses all of that, but there's this is really much more like Mike's work.
Bob Condotta.
Is there anything new on Dale Taylor at all?
Yeah, I have some. Sorry that Joe didn't get a chance to ask that question, but
I feel it for him.
no, it's good. We're all working together, Joe. This whole thing about gratitude this week, holiday season and all. Yeah, he's going to try to practice next week and for the first time, and he's getting ready to do that. We'll find out if that can come to life and all. So we'll see. Like I've said all along, that we've been waiting and hoping that we could get to this day. He had a lot of consulting that he did to get to that point. I saw a number of doctors to make sure that he was confident in what he was doing, and so now that we have that behind us, I think that he'll get a chance to see if he can jump back sooner than later. We'll be happy to have him.
And Nick Bellore, how valuable just has he been to kind of the whole thing with special teams, obviously the last 2 years?
Yeah, it's really he's had a big role because he's such a smart football player and such a savvy guy and a tough dude and all of that. He has been a leader in the group of our special team stuff since the day he walked on here. We really wanted him to come for those reasons. He's just blossomed as a great factor for us. He's playing the best he's played. We've seen him in years, been the most active and just been the biggest factor. He's always been a real positive and a plus in helping kind of what the game's all about and what special teams are all about for young players. No, he's just been a huge factor for us. So it's just great recognition for a hard-working dude that has earned every step of the way by being a tough guy and smart guy and being a great competitor.
Ben Arthur.
Hey, Pete, sorry if I missed this, but is Greg Olsen still on track, still going to practice this week and on track?
No, Ben, you're the only guy that figured that out. It's a good question there. Yeah, Greg's coming back. He's going to practice this afternoon. He had a really solid week last week. He looked very good. It was really close enough that he had a chance to play last week. We thought it would just be it was such a shock that he was so good so soon that we just didn't want to press our luck on it. So he's back in action this week, and we're really happy to get him back out there. Now he has to make it through the week, and all that, like as always. But he's going full go today.
Thanks.
Tim Booth.
Pete, you've talked a lot about DJ Reed's performance and how he with you guys. Was he even on your radar? Did you know anything much about him, or was this John kind of presenting him?
No, I had just seen him flash. I knew of him, yeah, but I had not studied him much. And this was really. This, like I've said, this is to John's credit in the scouting department of finding a guy that could fit in and do something and really they had great vision to see how he could fit in, and I'm really excited about the way he's playing.
And then with Trey and Quentin, what's their plan for this week?
Quentin is going to stay on IR. He's going to get his knee fixed. It just couldn't make the turn. He tried really hard last couple of weeks, and he just can't get over the hump on it, and so he's going to get that taken care of. Eventually, soon, I think. Trey's coming back to practice today. He'll be a little bit limited just numbers-wise, but he's coming back to play. So I'm really excited that he has the chance to return to us.
Is that a season-ending surgery for Quentin?
Yes.
Larry Stone.
Yeah, hey Pete. Russell in the last game against the Rams really struggled by his own admission. How much of that was attributable to just an off game, and how much was something that the Rams were doing? And what do you think of his performance since that game?
I don't think we were a little bit off then, and that's what the whole thing about our balance and all that we just didn't feel the same, and it felt like we played uncharacteristically. Russ made one play in the game that when he threw the ball across the field trying to hit Dis, I think, up the sidelines. That was that's trying. It was trying hard, to try to make something happen. And I think that kind of stood for what it felt like. Me as a coach, him as a player, our team. I just felt like we weren't quite right. So we'll see. We get to go ahead. Fortunately, we get to play these guys again, and we'll see how we do this time around. All of that's ever happened is gone. That's already behind us and lost and all that in our minds. We just move on to take the next step, and hopefully we'll take a good step this week.
Curtis Crabtree.
Yeah, Pete, we saw Brian Monet is coming back to practice for you. Where is he kind of at, the plan for him moving forward in the year he was having for you before you got hurt?
I think he was playing really good, but by far the best ball he had played with us. Active, really, he was really a factor of just chasing the ball around. He's 350 pounds, but he runs like crazy with that big body. He looked really good in the walkthrough today. That's all I've seen of him, other than what we're seeing through the training work. He's got to practice this week and have a good go at it, but he's got a chance, and he is totally tuned in to playing. So he's going to go for it during the course of the week, and by the weekend we'll have much more information. I don't have enough yet to know.
A.J. McCord.
Hey, Coach, a few big picture sort of questions for you. I know you treat every game the same, want-to-know mentality every week, but knowing that a division title is on the line, have you guys address that at all, or is it just same preparation week in, week out?
This week is what all of that's all about. It's to get to this point, being a championship opportunity, continue to pose each game that we play as a championship opportunity. So we're practicing that mentality so that when we get here, we do exactly that again. And so hopefully, all of the lessons stick, and we carry on. We're going to take it as we do. It's an opportunity for a great day today, and then just one day at a time, put the prep together and go through a football game out here as we're closing out. We have finished well in our seasons, and we've finished with a lot of good wins at the end of the year, and this is another opportunity to demonstrate that we get it and we know what we're doing, and philosophically we're tight and connected, and that we can go out and perform like we're capable against a really a great football team. So nothing changes.
And as in the beginning of the season, there was a lot of, you kept encouraging us, hey, this defense isn't what it can be, what I know it can be yet. In the last few weeks, it feels like the offense has been the one to sort of falter, and maybe just a little bit more as running backs come back healthy. How much confidence do you have that this week both sides of the ball can perform to their absolute highest?
Well, we didn't get sacked last week, and we had one kind of sloppy turnover that they got by a nice play by them, and that's really good football. Running for 180 yards and 170 the week before. I mean, if we keep doing those things, we take care of the football, run the ball like that, and be able to keep the quarterback clean, we're gonna have success. And the defense has to keep playing. We haven't done anything yet. We got a long ways to go, but we're so much better and so much more connected than we were that the whole thing can fit together. And I'm not looking at numbers and stats and stuff like that right now. Then can we put together a complementary ball that gives us a chance to win? And so last week I thought it was a beautiful day's work. And I know that there's we just missed a couple conversions in the fourth quarter that would have changed that game on the third downs. But we need to keep doing this, and if we do that, we're hard to beat.
Last question, Masvita.
Hey, Pete, with it being the holiday season, is there any special message you have to the players in terms of the COVID-19 and staying with what you guys have done so far?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. We started today with the thought of realizing how fortunate we are and to express the gratitude that we have for one another and the system and all that we're in one of the safest places in the world right now. We've created an environment we're fortunate as can be that we're this safe for all of these guys that are here and their families and all, with the mentality that we have, and just within our own group we need to be really grateful for that, and in that really showing appreciation and gratitude for the people around us and everybody that we can touch and reach out to, and all of that. So this is the season of gratitude for us and appreciation, and we want to be mindful of that and share that with everybody that we can connect with.
Thank you, everyone.
See you.
You got me. You got me today? Yeah. Oh man, I got the big dog today, man. It's crazy.
Okay, as you can see, we've transitioned to Pro Bowl linebacker Bobby Wagner. If you have questions for Bobby, send them in. Why don't you start, Jen?
Well, let's start with that Pro Bowl nod. Congratulations. Given the fact that you have been here so many times, what's significant about that honor for you?
I think every year it brings its different significance. I think, I couldn't have told my rookie year self that I would have, you get 7 out of 9 years. So, I think it just shows consistency. I think it's just cool. It's a lot of great linebackers, in this league right now. So to be one of them, it's always still, amazing.
John Boyle.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of that, what's it like when the first time guys find out, a guy like Diggs or whoever that hasn't had it before, when you guys get to kind of celebrate that with them?
It's just a blessing. I mean, I definitely try to call him and reach out to him to kind of show, because I've been in that situation before, and for him to get it with us is a little bit more special, because I've been watching him for a long time, and so you want to reach out to him, congratulate him, personally, on a personal note, and and then anything's on him. You just make sure he has to buy everything that you think. So once everything open back up, he gonna take us all out. He don't know this yet, though.
AJ.
Hey, Bobby, congrats on the Pro Bowl.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So, obviously, the last time out against the Rams didn't go the way you guys wanted to, but it feels like this defense is clicking. Pete Carroll said it, you said it, in a way that's different than the last time you guys faced the Rams. How confident does that make you going into this game with the division title on the line?
Makes us real confident, because we, like I said, we're coming off playing our best ball. Definitely feel like we're hitting our stride. I definitely feel like, when we played them last time, we were still getting guys back. Guys hadn't been on the field all together. So having everybody out and really just being able to be together and, play our best ball right now going into the game is always going to give you confidence.
Bob Condotta.
Yeah, Bobby. The Rams game felt like it would sort of began a little bit of a turning point for you guys defensively, a little bit, especially the second half, the way you guys kind of shut them down other than one drive, I think. Do you remember anything specifically about anything sort of beginning to click in that game at all? Or?
I can't say one thing. The one thing that stands out is definitely, I think Jamal had 2 sacks that game where, we started to get after the quarterback. And so I think, we almost had a ball. That's crazy. Once we, start getting after the quarterback, I think it makes life for everybody a lot better.
Molly McGrath.
Hey, Bobby. Congrats on clinching the playoff spot, but that's, expected these days in Seattle. So what have you seen from the team this week, focus-wise or message-wise, to show that you guys aren't just satisfied with holding that 3 seed in the NFC?
I think everybody, the whole goal here has never really been like the championship. We treat every game like a championship game, but it's more so win the NFC West. So to be in a position to be able to win the NFC West is what we, kind of shoot for, and everything else, all the other goals kind of take care of itself. So, everybody's locked in. We understand the importance of this game. We don't treat it anything different, but, we know what's at stake, and, we look forward to the matchup, especially, they won the last one. So we have to make sure that we don't let that happen again.
Brady Henderson.
Hey, Bobby, I'm sorry if you were asked this recently. I can't remember if you were or not, but your first memory of KJ Wright when you got to Seattle in 2012, what was that?
They did ask me last week, and it's kind of funny. He can't remember when we met. So I got that question, I went and asked him. I don't think he remembered. But my first memory of KJ was coming into the building, him introducing himself. And then somehow, some way, we got on talking about music, and his taste in music was very not young, and so I think it kind of started from that perspective. But he came from the South, so he liked a lot of the Southern artists, and I came from the West Coast, so it was a little disconnect there, but I brought him over.
Who was he listening to at the time? Do you remember?
Probably Lil Boosie. I don't know if he made me listen to a little bit of Jay-Z, not much. He didn't know who Kendrick was at the time. I don't think he listened to J. Cole. And I think everybody know who Drake is.
And on the field, what do you think about just the run that you guys have had as a tandem over the past, 8 or 9 seasons together?
I think it's been special. I think there's been a lot of ups, downs, more ups than downs. Just being able to play, majority of our career together has been special. Being able to share the field with him has been special. He's helped me grow as not just a football player, but as a man as well. So, we are very fortunate. We understand this business is a crazy business, so we don't get to be together, contractually and all those different things for a variety of reasons. So, us being able to play this long together and have this much success has been a blessing.
Thanks.
Art?
Bobby, the Rams have won 5 of the last 6 games in the series. Is there something that their offense does as well or better than any other offense you see?
I definitely feel like they're really good at the boots, the stretch boots, the cut boots. They have all different type of varieties. They really match their run game up well with their boots. So, a lot of times you really have to study the plays because they have a complementary boot to every single run that they have. And so it kind of makes you hesitate for a second. But I would say that's probably what they do really well at.
Jackie?
Hey, Bobby, congrats on the Pro Bowl nod.
Thank you.
This team, last time you faced the Rams, you guys were dealing with a lot of injuries, both on offense and defense. How better equipped do you feel this team is now going up against the Rams here in Week 16?
We feel really good. I think we have, not only have a lot of guys back, we've been able to gel together on the field for quite some time. And I think on the offensive side, we had, have our running backs back. We have a lot of guys back on that end too, because I think DJ Dallas was a starter last game. So, have Chris and those guys back to complement what Russ does is going to be really good for us.
Corbin?
Hey, Bobby. So you were just talking about your relationship with KJ Wright and making the Pro Bowl, and unfortunately, he's only been to one in his career, despite all the incredible stats he's put up, the great seasons that he's had in Seattle. Is it disappointing from your perspective that a player of that talent has only been recognized once for that award?
Yeah, it's been very disappointing. I think, over the years, he's had some amazing years, and I think they kind of counted against him because he plays well, and so they pair him with the guys that get sacks and just rush all the time, and so it's been definitely disappointing. He deserves a lot more recognition. I know, speaking for him, I know he would always take the Super Bowl over any other accolade, but he deserves to have more of those under his belts.
Masvidal?
Hey, Bobby, going back to when you called players that got on your squad, they got the Pro Bowl. Are you calling as the captain, as Bobby, and is that something that you created?
I'm just calling as a brother. I'm calling as a a person that shares the same excitement as them. Probably, it's always great to have your teammates succeed and have the people that you play with, that you grind with, succeed and get the goals that they've reached too. So I think that's kind of how I call it, just understanding, having that relationship, understanding what they, work in the off season for and what they strive to get. And, watching them accomplish that is an amazing thing. And so just calling them to congratulate them and let them know that it's a really cool feeling.
Do you remember,
Who called you when you got your first Pro Bowl?
Well, yeah, when I made my first Pro Bowl, I think Coach Carroll and Coach Norton actually were the first people to call me, but they called me as if I was in trouble. They told me to come to the principal's office, and so I thought I was getting in trouble or something happened. I tried to check ESPN and all those other things before I was walking up, and so I was all good on that front. And then they told me I was a Pro Bowler, so it was pretty cool.
Last question, Greg.
Hi, Bobby. How has Carlos Dunlap and the defensive line coming on in the pass rush helped the entire defense, especially your pass coverage in the back?
It's helped it a lot. I think the quarterbacks know that they got to get the ball out quick. If they don't get the ball out quick, then, those guys are going to come in and sack them, especially, Carlos. And so it helps us in the back end because you don't have to cover that much or cover that long. And, the quarterbacks know that, they have to have that mental clock in their head and they have to get the ball out quick. And so it definitely helps us, play fast and helps our success of the defense.
In the biggest picture, is that what was missing most first half of the season and maybe what's changed in the last month?
I definitely say it was part of it. I wouldn't say it was just that one thing, but that definitely played a part.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
I
Happy
appreciate
holidays.
it. Happy holidays, everybody. Hope you have a good time with your families, and appreciate all that you guys do.
Thanks, Bobby. Happy holidays.
Thanks.
Did he say someone else was coming? Thanks.
Play football well.